Well done. Not disappointing, but not pointing either. It is what it is. Yeah, there was lots of missing pieces and lots of pieces I could not get from my collection, but there was lots of leftover pieces too, right there. And some like two of those set only needs one. One of those set doesn't need any. A few other pieces. So I'll just roll those in my collection. I didn't reconstitute the minifigs in their entirety. I only did the air tanks in the back. This guy's complete, but whatever. So let's talk about this guy's complete. I had to grab these two from my collection, but whatever. This guy's complete. This guy's missing a trans red antenna, just like the last one I did. So thankfully I have a trans red antenna. It's on a Bricklink order, and the black and the trans red panel in the back. So he's not complete. The vehicle's complete. Little ships are complete. But okay, let's talk about the ship. Overall, the ship is mostly complete, and I did have to grab some pieces from the collection. I don't mind doing that because that's the whole point of this. But overall, most of the pieces were there. Now you can see just by the trans yellow what wasn't there. I only had 5 trans red panels, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then 1 trans red. The other one's not there. It is what it is. I don't have any spares. Oh, sorry. Let me just rephrase that. I actually got these trans reds from my collection, so I don't have any trans red panels. I had to think about that for a second. So I only had 5 trans red panels in my collection, and so I substituted the rest, the big panels. When it comes to the thing in the back, it only came with 2 outer corners, so I substituted a trans dark blue because that's all I could get access to quickly because I don't have one yellow or they'd be in the layout. And on the back, I put one of these guys just for, because I had nothing else. So I'm missing 2 of those. And I had to grab some tiles, some black tiles from my collection. I ran out of tiles. I ran out of, right at the very end, I ran out of landing gear. Only one. I was missing one, so I grabbed one from my collection. All the hinges, okay, I'm going to rephrase that. Most of the hinges were there, which was fantastic. The one hinge that wasn't there was, because I used it earlier, was this 1x2 blue hinge back here. I actually grabbed that from my collection. The radar dish was there. Fantastic. As I said, the big trans pieces were not there at all, except for the cockpit window that was in the collection. So that's good in the lot. Yeah, so I would say overall 20 to 30 pieces I grabbed from my collection. Smallish pieces, 1x2 modified plates here and there. I had all but 4 of these because it takes a bunch for there. I had to grab 4 of these from my collection. To finish those guys. I also, this piece on top, this little black piece that goes, and it's supposed to be the hollow holes. It came with 1 hollow holes and 1 solid holes, so I had to go grab a hollow hole from my collection. So it looks like this guy tried to reconstitute the set by just grabbing pieces out of his collection and putting it in a bag and saying, here you go. Now overall, some of these pieces are specific or very, very rare and only came in a set or very, very few sets. So we know that this set, he had this set, but there was some pieces missing from the set. Obviously, he kept the trans red big panels for himself. And I'm not going to fault him for that because I would too. But this is going to be yet another Bricklink order to finish that up, just so I have 2 complete ones. When that happens, I'm sure I will make a YouTube video about it. I might have to replace that 4x10, 2, 4, 6, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, because it's got these little white looks. I don't know if they're teeth marks or something. But I realize that this is a good set, and I have exactly the same problem I have with it when I did my review on it, that I didn't watch my review, so I should be reminded of what I put in my review, is that this entire center area from here to here is an utter waste of space, because the whole thing is the mechanism to lift up the front. That's all it's for. That whole area from here to here is just for the mechanism to lift up the front. It's a complete waste of space. Now, when you get the Cosmic Fleet Voyager, the center is walkable, navigatable by minifigs in universe. And even the Space Police 2 Galactic Mediator, was it Galactic Mediator? The big ship in Space Police 2 had a hollow centers, like a corridor that the minifigs could pass through. So this thing is only the front and the back that have minifigs, and then the sides, the little spaceships that can fly off. But this whole centerpiece is just a waste of space. Now, I get it, because the mechanism needs the space. Would I have sacrificed the space for cool playability? I don't know. It's a cool mechanism to lift up the front. I mean, it is really cool. And then it grabs this guy and brings it in. So so it is. Come on. All right. Come on. There we go. So that's cool. It grabs the vehicle and pulls it in. So mechanism's cool, but it takes up the entire center of this ship. Although the way they hit it, kind of cool, again, with the trans red, when it's all trans red, and the blue panel back here. So they hit it nicely, but in the end, the bottom is okay. I mentioned this in some of my reviews before, where the bottom is completely neglected. This one is fair to Midland. They put some sort of color differentiation on here in the landing pads. So I'll give that a pass. Again, this is not another review. Just I'm glad I have two of them now. Well, one and 90% of the other. I will get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces I need from the Bricklinks, and I will reconstitute this thing fully. And then I'll have 2 complete ones. You can see this is my original. This is my original that I bought off the store shelf years ago, and you can see how dusty it is. It is extremely dusty. This was a part in a bag in pieces once for many years, and then I reconstituted it for the for my review. I'm glad I did. That shouldn't be there. It should be one up. It is a. Why is that not lining up at all? That's very odd. Oh, the top is not lined up. There we go. Sometimes you have to error check your stuff, and even this guy fell down. So it's a finicky set sometimes. But in the end, it is a cool set. Again, Space Police, there's not a bad one in the entire franchise. Space Police 1, that is. And I'm happy I got another one. And as I say, I waited. Because, again, I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be that guy that every time I see a lot, I have to go buy it. I talked about that before, the space, time, and money. But even beyond that, it's nice to quote unquote share the wealth, and by that I mean I don't have to grab every single set that's out there, even though it's in my purview, in my ballpark. But so I was really humming and hawing on Monday, and I said to the guy, I want it, and then I said, no, I'm gonna let it go. Because somebody else can grab it. But then Friday comes along, and a whole week goes by, and for a very good price. Again, the pieces that I had to grab from my collection. The thing is $260, the cheapest on Bricklink right now, $260, and the price that he was asking was way below that. So it's like, for the 6 pieces, I mean, again, I grabbed 25 or 30 from my collection, including the ones that I have to replace now. But for grabbing 30 pieces out of my collection, for what I paid for it, and I could put on Bricklink for $250 and get the money, I don't know why people didn't buy it. Now again, I'm not in it to sell it. I'm not a reseller, even though I'm starting to sell. But I don't classify myself at this point as a reseller as yet. I like reconstituting, and again, I was in the mood to start downsizing even my classic space sets, but then a whole bunch of people said, Dave, you have to do that big show, and so I've actually reneged, as they say. I've walked that one back. I will be selling other sets, 60s and 70s sets, and town and castle sets when I reconstitute them, and even some AquaZone sets when I reconstitute those. For cheap prices, but the space sets I'm keeping for now. Sorry, I have 8 totes of it, and what's in the garage for the layout. So I'm gonna keep those for a while. But anyway, that's it. That's all. I will update when I get the pieces from the Bricklinks, and I can show off both at the same time, unlike what I'm doing here. It's tired. It was a long day. You guys everybody seriously out there, stay safe, take care, and I hope everybody's doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.